This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Want to pull off the season's freshest trends? You just need the right shoes. That's where Designer Shoe Warehouse comes in. Loving wide-leg jeans? Pair them with sleek, low-profile sneakers. Obsessed with the sheer trend? Try it with mesh flats. Feeling boho? Comfy sandals nail the whole free-spirited thing. Find on-trend shoes from the brands you love, like Birkenstock, Nike, Adidas, and more at DSW.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Get your mother-loving ears on because your big-time radio DJ's got news. PayPal lets you choose how you want to pay for all the stuff. With PayPal, I can pay in-store, pay online, or pay over time. What's that? You want this translated into song? I hope you're sitting down. You can pay your own way. You keep those ears on, you hear? Don't just pay, baby. PayPal.
Learn more at paypal.com.
Get a one-of-a-kind gift this Mother's Day with a spa experience at Woodhouse Spa. Check out our contest page for your chance to win a $100 gift card. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest enter.
Pat Micheletti, beloved Mick Tockett at Pat Mick 2626. He's Minnesota Hockey Immortality, and he joins us Mondays to analyze the state of hockey. And we're all professional at the professional level at this stage of the equation, with the Stanley Cup playoffs taking place and our wild 2-2 with the Vegas Golden Knights. Game number 5 is tomorrow evening at FM 100.3 KFAN, and we begin here. Did the better team lose Saturday? And good morning.
I thought it was a pretty even game, to be quite honest. I mean, both had their chances. I thought both goaltenders were terrific. Both made key saves when they had to make the key saves, and it came down to one shot, right? One turnover. It was going to be that to either Vegas or to Minnesota. Yeah. And unfortunately, it happens to Middleton, who, by the way, played 29 minutes in that game,
and he had 7 block shots.
And he had 7 block shots, and he played pretty damn good. And you look at it, but he's know.
Well, see, that's hockey moment.
100%.
Because he didn't be like, it wasn't like, here, kitty, no, here, Mickey, just take the puck.
I want to lose the game.
He tried to flip it, didn't get all of it.
Tried to get it to Faber.
And there's your dagger.
Yep. And they capitalized on it.
So so outside of that, just generally speaking, you're an elite hockey mind. What are some things that stood out to you from Game 4?
Well, the top line is still playing at such a high level. I don't think Jack Eichel wants any part of Eriksson Ek at all. And for the most part, for 95% of the game, Eichel didn't do a heck of a lot. Mark Stone didn't do a heck of a lot. So from that perspective, you take it and you say, okay, we're winning that battle through 4 games. And I don't, I know, I mean, there were times when, they did split up Stone and Eichel because it wasn't working. So they split them up a little bit and put Carlson with Eichel.
Yep.
And so they're going to.
Stone went back to the third line, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah. He did. And, to try to get him going against a quasi lesser line.
He lumbers.
He's such a good player, but
he was key on the game winner, though.
He was. Yeah. I mean, and that's he's a one play guy. right? All you need is one play out of him in a game. But, he's had such a good career. He's been hurt so much. And you can tell, he's not moving like he used to move. He still has the hands. He still has the vision. But, the other parts of his game, which I think brings Eichel down a little bit, right? And so, but I think Cassidy's going to try whatever he can.
Yep.
In the remainder of the series to stay away from Eck, because Eck is in his head.
Wow. I'm glad you said that. Now, you would know more about the Eck part than me. I've seen it. I know what you're talking about, and probably shortchanged the impact until now. But Bruce Cassidy, after Game 3, said, I'm not flipping my lines.
Yeah,
okay. I don't do it into games. I don't do it in games. And he was asked why. And he said, because it gives an air of panic. And okay, well, he did it.
Yeah, he did
in the second period on Saturday involving Eichel and Stone, which means they panicked. Well, they had to.
While they were down,
you can look at it as they were desperate, they panicked, or it was a calculated move. But how much did it impact the game?
Well, that makes Minnesota make some adjustments, but not a lot. I think it gives his bench a little something. We're doing the same thing. We're not getting the results. And this changes things up a little bit. And it gives a little bit more juice to other guys that, have a chance to play with Eichel now or just, it just changes things up a little bit. And so, cause, if you look through games 1, 2, and 3, he went with the same lineup. Didn't change anything.
Right.
And it was almost like, we're better than you.
Right.
We're going to beat you with our game.
Right.
I'm going to be this stubborn guy. But he made the adjustments that he needed to make.
When he yanked Aiden Hill, that was in Game 3, that was the first piece of, hey, we got something going on here, boys. We got to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And so now, we're in a series. We're in the series. It's 2-2. And Minnesota has that belief that, we're not really the underdogs per se in this series. We beat them twice. They beat us twice. They were tight games. Every game was tight.
Yeah.
And so.
Horns up.
Yeah.
Yep. Horns
Get
up.
after it.
Yeah. Is it
horns up?
Yeah. What's the Sun Devil bit?
Fear the fork.
Fear the fork.
There it is.
I thought it was horns up. Or
look what he's wearing today.
Is it trident up? I couldn't exactly remember what it was. Well, no, he's embracing. Just Brett Blakemore, the producer today. Yeah. There are 4 people listening right now, 5 if Justin's listening,
right?
Who know what the Arizona State University hockey coach looks like. Okay, so I had no idea until a month ago.
Did you pull it up? Right?
No, I saw it on Guardsy's Twitter, and he was like, "Nice of Brett Blakemore to share so much about his third D pairing in some game against Canisius."
I mean, he flies in on a Saturday morning and flies right back to Arizona.
As doppelgangers would go, it's as good as you're going to see. Brett Blakemore and the coach of the Arizona State
Greg Powers
hockey team, Greg Powers. Here's the question before we pause. With Brett's breakaways coming up around the corner,
Pat's favorite segment.
Do you have Marco Rossi and or Gustav Nyquist inclusion? Because if you do, I don't want to clip on you.
Yes.
You got both of them?
Oh, boy.
At least one.
Yeah.
With that being Marco.
Okay. Well, then let me hit you with Nyquist, okay? Gustav Nyquist.
Yes.
Played 17 shifts and failed to muster a shot, a hit, a block, an assist, a takeaway, nothing. How is that possible over 17 shifts? How is it possible? I mean, I know there was Nyquist related terrorism after one of the games. Yeah. Stepped up, played a very big game. What was it, game 2? Yeah, he was fantastic game 2. Okay, and game 3, nondescript. I can't remember if he was good or bad or whatever. I'm just saying, over 17 shifts of what you do professionally, how can you not register one thing?
If you are looking at a game, okay, and I'll break it down this way. And you are saying, I am going to measure a player based on goals, assists, shots, whatever.
Okay.
Okay. And that is the criteria Take him out of the lineup then.
Okay.
If you are going to base the game on not make mistakes, not giving up anything that's going to cause your team a goal.
Yeah.
If you are going to make the right play, then you can answer that question yourself and see if that person has done those things.
Beautifully stated. That's Pat Micheletti at Pat Mick 2626, following via the X machine as 9 to noon does, if you are so inclined. More conversation on the Minnesota Wild. Plus, we mix in some things developing around the National Hockey League with round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The demise of the Dallas Stars has been greatly exaggerated. That little 50, 60, 70 to 1 piece on the St. Louis Blues, it looked dead for a second. Now all of a sudden it's 2-2 against Winnipeg, and Edmonton and Los Angeles are putting on unbelievable scoring shows every single game. We're going to get into all that around the corner, but first we got some money to give away.
That we do. The Fan and BigDeck.com. I'm going to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Head to KFAN.com and the keyword win. The keyword is win. KFAN.com. Keyword.
Click fast and save big. Shop our Blinds.com Spring Cyber Monday sale happening right now and elevate your space with brand new custom window treatments today. Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer for custom window treatments, offering you professional support and styles that fit any budget. From classic shutters and bamboo shades, even motorized shades for your outdoor space. Blinds.com has something for everyone, with honest, upfront pricing and no hidden fees. DIY or let us handle everything from measure to install. Blinds.com makes it easy with free virtual consultations. Our design experts will help guide you from start to finish, with free samples sent directly to you so you can try before you buy. Plus, every order includes our 100% satisfaction guarantee. Shop Blinds.com Spring Cyber Monday sale going on right now. Save up to 45% with minimum purchase, plus get a free professional measure. Up to 45% off at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Get your mother-loving ears on because your big-time radio DJ's got news. PayPal lets you choose how you want to pay for all the stuff. With PayPal, I can pay in-store, pay online, or pay over time. What's that? You want this translated into song? I hope you're sitting down. You can pay your own way. You keep those ears on, you hear? Don't just pay, baby. PayPal.
Learn more at PayPal.com.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish or satin, or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews all in the app. Download today.
If you want to chime in what's happening with your favorite KFAN shows, you can make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. So let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That is 64686. Standard text message and day rates apply.
Here comes a new feature 9 to noon because Brett Blakemore has been producing a fair amount of the shows of late, and Nordo's going to be out for a minute. And so therefore you'll hear this frequently. I happen to like it a lot. It's something that I'm low key the I don't want to say non-hockey, certainly not non-hockey fan. I like hockey.
Stump the host,
but I just it's sports snob.
Yeah.
What was that Wednesday game we played?
Stump the snob.
Stump the snob. Yeah. Thank you. It's how am I going to put this? I love Beyond the Pond because I love the interviews. I love learning from Mick Tockett and the group about college hockey and high school hockey and all levels of hockey and things like that. So I listen to Beyond the Pond pretty much every single week, which means I have fallen into something called Brett's Breakaways. And I like that too. It's produced up nicely. It has nice little pop to it. So I'm like, hey, if Double B is going to fill in for Nordo 9 to noon, then we, for sure, are going to do this.
It's time for Bright Blakemore's Breakaway.
Kaprizov in alone. Nobody can catch him. Kaprizov, score!
Pat can't escape it even on the weekdays. Can't escape it.
And now, Blakemore's Breakaway.
So, Pat, I'm going to throw you the biggest softball in the world to start breakaways as a measure of good faith, if that's okay.
Horns up.
This team's fear the fork.
Fear the fork. Fork the fear.
We know that the history of the playoff series, and it's happened before. They've lost a game 4, now it's tied 2-2. What makes this team, Patrick, different than those teams in the past who, when they lost game 4, everyone knew it was over? What makes this team different?
Double B's playing fast.
I guess we don't know what makes them different yet. I will say, if you want
kind of an answer was that?
Wait, can I finish?
3-2.
Okay. If you look at the last series, which happened to be the Dallas series 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And
DeBoer did us.
And he did. And we bit it hook, line, and sinker. It appears to me, and we'll see how it plays out, but it appears that this team has the ability to move on from game to game, not look ahead, not look behind, whatever the case may be.
Can I amplify what Patrick just said?
Sure.
And you guys know more about hockey than me. In all my years of doing Monday with Mick Tocchet related segments on the world of hockey, and that would include some of those game 4s and game 5s with the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. But let's go back to Patty Kane and Jonathan Toews and Duncan Keith, Brandon Saad, Corey Crawford, and those guys. I've never heard Patrick at any stage of the equation say Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, whomever, want nothing to do with anybody. Well, now he's saying Eichel and or whomever, but specifically Eichel, wants nothing to do with Joel Eriksson Ek. So that is a major flip switch off the past. If you guys don't mind me opining.
All right, let's go here. I want to come at this from 2 different angles, this topic, because I think it deserves it. Let's just forget about who was sat on the bench in overtime and his situation and who he is. Just the fact that John Hines decided to play 5 defensemen in overtime, ended up the game-winning goal, ends up on an exhausted defenseman's failure of a clearance. It looked like he was exhausted because they're rotating 5 defensemen. How can you blame him? Just forget that it was Zeev. Just the fact that they were playing 5 defensemen in overtime, how much of a talker is that? Because now the winning goal came off of a play from a defenseman that was probably pretty tired.
That's nice.
I would say this. I was very surprised in overtime when they had the power play that they didn't put Zeev out there.
Yep.
Because you ran him the whole game on the power play. I didn't even know how many power plays that they had. But, that was to me a defensive type strategy, if you will. You know what I mean by that? By just like, oh boy, we don't want to take that chance. Well, you took it earlier. You're in overtime. He's running your number 1 power play. That one surprised me especially when you had a chance to win the game.
Yep.
Not saying it would have been different. And, we know Spurgeon's got the experience and he's ran a power play before, et cetera, et cetera. But that one really surprised me the most.
Okay.
I could see maybe 5-on-5.
Yeah.
I kind of get that.
Yeah.
But when you're on the power play, you have a chance, you have the draw in their zone. I don't know.
The Booyam double minor. Of course,
the right call.
Of course, Vegas scored.
Yep.
But it's when we get done with breakaways or during the course of it, I want to bring up Hinostroza's penalty, which led to the Theodore goal, the very first goal of the game. But with Booyam, because I missed this part of the equation, was it lazy, egregious?
No.
Like what happened?
Stone was busting through the slot area right in front of the net, and Booyam tried to was about to try to take him out.
Okay,
stick one up. cut him.
More unfortunate than it was.
It was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
The Hinostroza penalty pissed me off, and we can get to that momentarily. Go on a breakaway.
Well, let's look at it from the other end. So that's like 5-on-5, 5 defensemen.
Yeah.
But as far as Zeev goes, like I'm not outraged they didn't play him, but I do wonder, like, what does that say to him? Because you're willing to play him all overtime. You're willing, just like you said, on power plays, but now you don't trust him to go out there. Like, I just thought it was a weird message to send to a young kid who, we think you're ready. We think you're going to be on the top power play, except when it really matters. Now you're not going to be ready. I don't know. I thought the whole thing was just odd. I'm not mad, but I thought it was odd.
Well, I'll back to what I said. I was very surprised that he was not on that power play in overtime when you have a chance to win the game. Yep. Now, not saying that they would have scored because they're that's all hit and miss, right? But that one surprised me.
All right.
What does it say to him? Well, he's a young kid. He's 19 years old. He is mature. He's been in these situations before. I'm sure he gets it. He's in the National Hockey League. Okay, coach. But knowing his mentality, he would have wanted to be out there.
All right, we're like 5 minutes into this. Now the fun begins. I've got some stats for you, Pat.
Okay.
Because, as you said,
I have a feeling that you want to take some shots at me, and feel free.
Well, shots, stats, assists.
Okay.
Any stats, as we know, as you mentioned earlier, probably don't matter, but I'm going to rattle off some numbers for you. Here's through 4 games.
Yep.
Player A, 0 goals, 0 assists, 1 shot, 41% on faceoffs, 57 minutes of total ice time. That's 14 minutes a game.
Hey.
Player B, 2 goals, 1 assist, 8 shots, 46% on draws. He has 10 minutes per game. Would you rather have player A or player B?
Oh, that's crafty. That is sneaky, boy.
Well, it all depends how you want to break it down.
Yeah, or
he's speaking about Marco Rossi and Freddie Gaudreau. Okay?
Yeah.
And what are their responsibilities? What does the coach expect out of them? Does he expect offense? Does he expect them to play great defensively and not give up anything? That is the question.
Let me follow up stat. This is via Michael Russo. Through the first 2 games of the series...
Malpractice?
Well, that too.
Okay.
Through the first 2 games of the series, the Johansson, Gaudreau, Zuccarello line gave up the most scoring chances and expected goals than any other line in any other playoff series.
How many goals did they give up?
The most scoring chances.
How many
the most
goals
XG
did they
in
give?
any line in any series?
Who are they going up against? How many goals did they give up?
Not the top line because Eriksson Ek and
how many goals did
going
they
up against the third and fourth line?
How many goals did they give up? And guess what? Guess what, Brett? In the next 3 games, if there are 3 games, the territorial advantage is going to go to the Vegas Golden Knights. They will have the puck in the offensive zone far more than Minnesota will.
Mm-hmm.
Far more.
Yeah, but in game 2, you could have said that, and they came out first 4.5, 5 minutes, and the ice was completely tilted until it wasn't, and then the Wild controlled the offensive zone a fair amount of that game.
I think it was 450. I had the percentages, but they escaped me.
Okay,
but that's the nature of the beat. That's the what do we have to do, John Hines? Right then you're blaming the coaching staff for the game plan that they put together, correct?
I think it's puzzling how they don't elevate him.
Are you blaming the coaching staff for the game plan that they put in?
For not putting Rossi in a better spot and getting him more ice time? Yes. That's their decision. He's better statistically. They give up a ton of chances, so they're not even great defensively sound, and he doesn't do anything offensively. They're just out there to get some cardio.
Is that what they're out there for?
That's puzzling.
Is that what they're out there for? I mean, seriously?
I gave you a whole bunch of statistics, and you're just throwing it away because your second leading scorer this season kick him to the fourth line and don't even play him.
Brett, you can analytically analytic me till you're blue in the face.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So you're gonna go strictly by the analytics of the game.
It's not strictly.
You bench your second leading scorer and play him 4 minutes in the second period. It's ridiculous.
What did I say about Marco Rossi and how you should
trade him for a bag of pucks?
Is that what I said?
More or less.
The fourth line move is working.
Of course.
The fourth line move is working.
Where he scores both goals.
From the fourth line.
Yeah, and who made the play? Another guy that he
Tranian.
Yeah, and who boxed out the defenseman. So,
all right.
So Rossi had a shot, Yeah, and what did I say?
So if that line's great, then why don't you play him more?
Oh my gosh.
Well, explain yourself.
I explained myself to Brett a gazillion times.
But this is the first time I've heard it.
Oh, okay.
And this is great.
I think Marco Rossi should play.
Yeah.
I think you need to use him properly.
Okay.
I don't think he can play every third shift.
Right.
Because
he's no Nyquist. Yeah, you can't go 17 shifts and not register.
Stop it. Stop it.
Okay, go ahead.
As a centerman, he has got to defend in his own end against guys that are monsters. And that takes a lot out of you. Now, you're defending in your own end, right? How much gas do you have in the offensive zone? Probably not very much.
Great.
The way I would use him is I would, here and there, here and there, offensive zone, face off. I put him in there.
Yes.
I throw him in, and for a Nyquist once in a while, okay, and see if we can get a break that way. You have to look who's the matchup, right, and free him from having to play the hard, heavy minutes, which would take him completely out of the game, which we saw in Game 1 and Game 2.
Coming up later on Beyond the Pond with yours truly, Paul Allen, Kevin Fallness, Pat Micheletti, and Brett Blakemore. We expect Mike Hastings to join us.
Nice.
Likewise for Lee Smith. And on officiating, we will discuss that with Andy Von Helleman. But we do have a final breakaway from Mr. Double B.
Maybe even the Bob McKenzie of college hockey.
Love it.
Let's go here. Every series in the Western Conference is at 2 games apiece. Which one is more intriguing and why?
I kind of like Toronto and Ottawa, to be quite honest with you. They are at 2 apiece, right?
They're 3-1.
They're 3-1.
3-1.
But it was a nice win.
It was 3-0.
It was okay. I think that series is still in play just because of the rivalry between the two teams. 2-2. St. Louis Blues, Winnipeg Jets.
What about it?
Blues smoke them both times at home.
5-1, though.
Hellebuck, the Vezina Award winner, more than likely.
Yeah.
Not playing very well.
I'm aware of you laughing at me 2 weeks ago when I said 70-1 on St. Louis to win the cup is value.
Whoa. I think I picked the Blues to win the series.
I know you did.
Because I think Jim Montgomery is going to outcoach Scott Arniel.
Might have been Walsey.
Yeah, probably Wes. But no, I think that series is really in play for an upset in the first round.
Thank you for the breakaways. Brett's bets coming up somewhere within the next 15 minutes. And you know what? You know why I tease Brett's bets, okay?
Yeah.
So Blakemore, you can fade the music and fire up 9 to noon. Thank you for the breakaways. The reason I preview and or tease Brett's bets, okay? I mean, you and I got some spot up to us, right?
Yes, we do.
So about right before the Masters, he's filling in, and he's going to do Brett's breakaways because I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, hey, how about Brett's bets? Do you know anything about betting? And he did. He knows the money lines, over-unders in cursory fashion. He at least knows cursory fashion. So I'm like, all right, well, tout me. I like to be touted. My man jumps on the mic and guarantees Rory McIlroy is going to win the Masters. Okay, now he's the second favorite behind Scheffler, but still guaranteeing on a Wednesday who's going to win a tournament Thursday through Sunday. I got a lot of respect for that. So then that is the Saturday after listening to you guys on Beyond the Pond. And Brett's breakaways that Saturday, I mean, he was, let's put it this way. generally speaking, if there's a bad storm, so think bison or buffalo and cows, okay? Cows are going to run away from the storm as fast as they can. And eventually it's going to hit them. They're going to topple, and they're going to have to deal with it. Where, like Blakemore, the buffalo, the bison, they go headfirst into the storm. And they're like, this is going to suck for a short amount of time, but I'm just going to go ahead and forge my way through it. And he was more of the Brett's Bets bison/buffalo variety, because all you guys were all this Colorado stuff, and Hiskinen, Heiskanen, and Robertson's going to miss at least game one. It was Colorado in 4 or 5. My man jumps on the microphone and says, I like Dallas in 7, and in fact, maybe 6. Well, here we are. We got a game tonight. It's 2-2 in Dallas. Dallas probably is going to win tonight as a dog. My man, the Bison, went right into the storm. You got to give him credit. So therefore, when he fills in for Nordo, Brett's Bets are absolutely a piece 9 to noon. What do you think of that?
Well, I'm happy.
Hey, other people can win other than you.
Yeah.
Okay? Other people can have good bet-related touts outside of Mick Tocchet. You know what I mean?
But he took the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, the series isn't over.
None of the series in the West are over.
Well, that wasn't a Brett bet. See, you can...
Well,
we can tout a lot of things.
On Beyond the Pond it was.
We can tout a lot of things, but when somebody puts bet next to your name...
Hey.
And there are people listening on the weekdays.
Credit where credit is due.
Right.
Good for Brett.
He's right. Dallas is going to win this series.
Do you think so?
Dallas is going to win this series. Yes.
So my Colorado bet, not good.
It's dead. I would go to Pro Swap or Pick Swap or whatever it's called, and I'd try to sell that thing for $5 right now. Okay, let me get this out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, the Trenyon forecheck. Okay, I just want to give my man a little shine here.
Yeah.
Simply because I've seen enough forechecks in my life to know when you forecheck, if you're able to come out of a vicious forecheck and secure the puck, that's a low percentage, especially secure it cleanly.
Yeah.
So when he went for the Wild first goal, when he went on the forecheck, secured
hammered the guy,
got it to Rossi. Covenant claps for me for that. Very, very well done. Secondly, so Hinestroza replaces Johansson and played just 12 minutes. The high stick on Howden bugs me, and here's why: because it was retaliatory.
Yep. Yes,
which means
100%
it's retaliatory, and if we're playing Ottawa in December, it's not foolish, but it's foolish in the postseason. What's my man doing here in the corner? Seriously,
he got hammered. He should have. There should have been 2 calls, but there wasn't. And that and that's where Hartman has been so good.
Amen.
In this playoff,
but you can't go pear-shaped like that.
You can't, not especially at home. You have momentum. You have and that was in the first period, right? Yes.
Yeah. Theodore scored on the power play.
And you want to keep that crowd into it. You want to keep the momentum that you have going. And so, yes, that hurt. And Minnesota's killed penalties, extremely well in this playoff. And on that goal, by the way, they had 2 cracks at getting the puck out and didn't do it.
Right.
You don't do that, it's going to end up in the back of your net.
Lastly, Foligno, beloved Moose got lost on one of the Vegas goals Saturday, but scored again. 3 games in a row, I believe.
Because we measure everybody's play by if they score.
I'm just kidding. Or if they give up goals.
It was tongue in cheek.
Right, I know, but I mean, seriously, he's rarely out of position. He was out of position, got his skates all tied up, and they scored. But nevertheless, big man's giving absolutely everything he has in this whole thing. Holy cow. I'm a Foligno might be my favorite player on the team.
Well, he... I can't say enough good things about the way that he's played. I mean, his heart, his determination, he's hitting, he's trying to do everything he can to help this team win. And he's been a great leader. The
breakaways were the bomb. Thank you very much for those, Brett.
Thanks, Brett.
Patrick, we'll see you next Monday if you have time, all right?
Wonderful.
Pat Micheletti at PatMick2626 via the tweet machine. And when we return, a sports update guided by Brett Blakemore, then Lavelli Neal III, columnist for the Star Tribune. He's ballyhooed. He'll be in studio about 15 minutes.
Get your mother-loving ears on because your big-time radio DJ's got news. PayPal lets you choose how you want to pay for all the stuff. With PayPal, I can pay in-store, pay online, or pay over time. What's that? You want this translated into song? I hope you're sitting down. You can pay your own way. You keep those ears on, you hear? Don't just pay, baby. PayPal.
Learn more at paypal.com.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish or satin, or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews all in the app. Download today.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. When Dr. Sabah and I decided to do a skincare line together, he said to me, we are going to give women meaningful beauty. And I said, that's exactly right. We want to give women meaningful beauty, which means each and every product is meaningful. It has a reason to exist. It's efficacious. You're going to get results. And then you just go out and live your life.
Meaningful Beauty. Confidence is beautiful. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
In the heat of battle, your squad relies on you. Don't let them down. Unlock elite gaming tech at Lenovo.com. Dominate every match with next-level speed, seamless streaming, and performance that won't quit, so you can push your gameplay beyond performance with Intel Core Ultra processors. For the next era of gaming, upgrade to smooth, high-quality streaming with Intel Wi-Fi 6E and maximize game performance with enhanced overclocking. Win the tech search. Power up at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. From now.
Get ready, Minnesota. The legendary Bryan Adams is bringing his Roll with the Punches tour to Target Center November 26th. Don't miss this epic night of rock anthems and unforgettable hits. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. Get all the details, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Go on with it now.
Let's roll.
Number 1.
We spent a lot of time talking puck, but let's talk about this to start.
Second free throw is good for Anthony Edwards. Lakers don't have a timeout. 10.7 seconds left to play. Lakers are down by 3. Luka pressured. Now gets across midcourt with 5. With 4 to LeBron to the corner. Reeves. He'll launch the corner 3. It's in and out. No good. Jaden McDaniels the rebound. The ball game is over. The Wolves have taken game 4. They lead the series 3 games to 1. Austin Reeves tried to tie it from the right corner. He got a clean look. He couldn't knock it down.
You heard it, Alan Horton, right here on the Fan. 3-1 series lead. The Wolves did what the Wild could not. And now they go back to L.A. That game is on Wednesday, 9 o'clock tip, to try to close it out. Why not in 5? Because everyone on ESPN said, Lakers in 5. Why not Timberwolves in 5?
Right. The LA Lakers shot 5 of 18 in the fourth quarter yesterday. This courtesy of at Wolves Radio, Alan Horton's Twitter. It's the A topic in the series. It's the A topic in a series where legitimately LeBron James, he's certainly one of the best 2 players in the history of the NBA, but I mean his longevity is answering a lot of questions here, man. He is so good defensively when he, like Chris Finch said earlier, and you'll hear the replay of the Finch interview if you missed it earlier, about 35 minutes from now, is LeBron so good at doing exactly what is needed per the moment to help his team win. So, for instance, he didn't score any points in the fourth quarter yesterday. I think he only shot it 2 times, but that was best for his team given the defense he was facing. LeBron always has been one of the most selfless superstars when it comes to routes to playing the game in the history of the NBA. But old people get tired. And LeBron's vertical is virtually non-existent on some of these shots in the fourth quarter because his legs are getting tired. Hefty people get tired. Luka Doncic is of the hefty variety. He gets tired in the fourth quarter too. So Luka and LeBron combined for 7 points in the fourth quarter yesterday. LeBron had none. Obviously, Luka had 7. But here's the A topic. A courtesy of Alan Horton's Twitter. The LA Lakers in the fourth quarters of the first 4 games of this series have shot 28%, 26%, 35%, and 28%. They've been outscored by an average of nearly 10 points each of those fourth quarters. That's your dagger. That's your A topic, the deeper team, as I think Drew, one of our talkbackers, said earlier, and that's without Nickeil Alexander-Walker even showing a pulse. I mean, my man just needs to get out of his own way right now. He's really struggling after the best season of his career, but he'll come around. And despite the depth of the Timberwolves is more spry and more gifted than that of J.J. Redick's team. But when it comes to LeBron and Luka specifically, Austin Reeves too, because Austin was trying to get hot yesterday, they're falling apart in the fourth quarter. And the defense that Finch's team, with the defensive coordinator, Elston Turner, I believe, putting forth just mixing and matching defensive looks that the LA Lakers are getting, their fourth quarter shooting is abysmal, and they're losing every fourth quarter, including yesterday, by 13 points. And there is your dagger.
Number 2.
Speaking of football, I'm going to list off the new, because this is, if I'm not mistaken, the first 9 to noon post NFL draft. I'm going to list off new Vikings, and I just want you to tell me which is the biggest addition of the draft.
All right.
Donovan Jackson, Ty Felton, Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins, Kobe King, Gavin Bartholomew, or Sam Howell.
Well, the backup quarterback situation has been solved, and the gifted Sam Howell, as I said last week, everybody in the league has known this forever. Sam Howell is very gifted. He's very talented. He's also very turnover prone. Sam has started a fair amount of games during his career, specifically when he played for Washington. But when I watch Sam Howell or think about Sam Howell, I think Nick Mullins, where just think of what Kevin O'Connell got out of Nick Mullins, who had like 20 starts under his belt. Then he had to start a fair amount a couple of years ago. And Nick would go for 400 and change, but then we would have some turnover problems at the end of the game. Sam can do that, hopefully without the turnovers. But with O'Connell and this offensive group, what they get out of quarterbacks has been it's been highly publicized, and it's on merit. I mean, see Sam Darnold and what he did last year, and let's see what he does for Seattle this year. So whichever quarterback they bring in, the staff is going to give that quarterback the opportunity to be at their very best when their best is required, because the past performances for O'Connell and crew have proven that. So the majority of the pressure here is on Sam Howell, not on O'Connell and his staff. The answer would be Donovan Jackson, because he most likely will start. And the belief would be solidifying the Minnesota Moving Company, specifically when Darisaw comes back. So Donovan Jackson would be the answer. I don't know anything about Ty Felton. The Penn State linebacker, Kobe King, I believe, has a chance to have some special teams demon to him early in his career. And then after that, you got to see what happens with linebackers and their contracts and everything. But from Felton down, I would guess the majority of those players were brought in as depth pieces and for special teams pieces. Now, one thing that's interesting to note here is cornerback or lack thereof for the Minnesota Vikings, likewise for safeties in the draft. And the belief there, I don't have steam on this. It's just reading between the lines, is they feel their pass rush is really, really good. It was really good last year, and it got better with the additions of Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. So the potency with the pass rush can take so much heat off the secondary. I'm guessing they didn't feel the value was there to take a corner or a safety at any point that one was available.
Oh, one more?
Shout.
Number 3.
And we got Brett's bet, man.
Yeah, we do. Now that it's over, it's all said and done. And if you didn't know, ESPN will let you know. Shedeur Sanders was drafted eventually. What are your thoughts on the whole fiasco, to his drop, to his eventual pick by the Browns, even though they already drafted a quarterback?
Yep.
Now that it's all said and done, what are your kind of final thoughts?
Well, fifth round value for Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round is an absolute SOD. It's a steal of the draft. Shedeur is a good quarterback, man. He's a good quarterback with flaws. I've watched him play live several times, and with my daughter going to the University of Colorado, I'm watching every Colorado-Buffalo game there is. So I've seen Shedeur play a lot, and I know Shedeur gets the game, man. However, when you're declining things that NFL teams want you to do at pro days, combines, East-West, just all that kind of stuff, that doesn't go over well with everybody. It's like, really? So you're not going to do that even though we want to see it? Okay, cool. Secondly, when it comes to his father, Dion, how much or how little Dion impacted this slide by Shedeur Sanders is up for speculation. However, it is real. When you think of Deion Sanders as a head coach, okay, don't think of him as Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell, Matt LaFleur, coaches like that who call plays and they just got their hands in everything. Think more CEO. All right. What he's done with that Colorado football program is unbelievable. He took it from a loser to a massive, massive winner. One that people watch on television each and every Saturday because it's a fun bit. But if you're a National Football League head coach, let's say Brian Daboll with the New York Giants, who seems to be on thin ice. Why wouldn't he be? Because of the productivity or production or lack thereof the last couple of years. You bring in Shedeur, and now you got Dion around the program a little bit. Owners get bit by people like Dion. Okay, they like to be next to them. They like to talk to them. Dion can talk the game, and he's an elite football mind. He's HOF. Well, some of these coaches are going to be like, well, why do I want to bring my potential replacement son here, have his dad around and have an opinion with the owner, and then now all of a sudden we're 3 and whatever, Shedeur's not playing and I'm out and Dion's in, because what's up, Wobble? Because he would hire the types of coordinators. Well, Pat Shurmur, former offensive coordinator for the Vikings, the orchestrator of the Minneapolis Miracle. He's his offensive coordinator for Colorado. His defensive line coach is Warren Sapp. His running backs coach is Marshall Falk. Phil Lodeholt was his offensive line coach. Dion gets whomever he wants, whenever he wants, and it works. So if I'm a National Football League coach on a little bit of thin ice, I don't necessarily want that around. So I think that played into it too. What's Brett's bet?
Yeah, let's go back to hockey for Brett's bet. We don't like picking favorites. This team is minus 148 on the money line.
What do you got?
I like the Panthers to win tonight outright. I wouldn't go puck line, but I'd go outright. They had a stinker at home, but they dominated. They're the better team than the Lightning.
Right.
I like Game 4 at home, them to go up 3-1.
They went to Tampa Bay and won both, right?
Correct. They stomped them.
Yep. And then they got kind of whooped on Saturday, I believe, right?
Yep.
So the Florida Panthers tonight, you're trying to go 3-0. No, 4-0 with Brett's bets during the 9 to noon show, and you're with me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So this could not be a bit. It could be a mortgage payment if you're listening closely. Thank you very much. Lavelle E. Neal III, columnist for the Star Tribune, joins 9 to noon next.
Hello, darlings. Pack your suitcase for a new season of the Hulu original reality series Vanderpump Villa.
Let's do this. Ciao, it's Stassi. Of course Lisa brought in her favorite to be resident chaperone of the castle. Stassi is an icon.
She's my eyes and ears.
I love this.
Get ready for the luxury and drama that awaits us in Italy.
Cheers to all the toxic couples in the castle.
Season 2 of Vanderpump Villa is now streaming on Hulu.
Spring is here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Hey, Janice Torres here.
And I'm Austin Hankwitz.
We're the hosts of Mind the Business Small Business Success Stories, produced by Ruby Studio and Intuit QuickBooks. Catch up on seasons 1 and 2 and join us for a brand new season of the podcast as we talk to small business owners about how they manage and grow their businesses with the help of platforms like Intuit QuickBooks.
Listen to Mind the Business Small Business Success Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Struggling to get out of bed? It might be time for an upgrade. Leesa makes exceptionally comfortable mattresses designed for every body and budget. But what truly sets them apart is their commitment to giving back. Since 2015, they've donated over 41,000 mattresses nationwide. Elevate your sleep and your space with Leesa. Go to Leesa.com for 20% off their award-winning mattresses, plus an extra $50 off with promo code iHeart. That's LEESA.com, promo code iHeart for an extra $50 off.